Hey guys, welcome back. Today I just wanted to do a simple video doing my skincare. So sit back, unwind, enjoy yourself, and let's talk about some stuff. I really want to just talk about boundaries in friendships and how it affects me, my mental health, and how I establish boundaries. Sometimes it's not super easy, but we can get through this. Here are some of my, just opinions about it. You can take it as is. There's no wrong or right way to do anything. Let's just get started into the routine and talk a little bit about boundaries and how you can navigate this, because I feel like it's a fairly new term that I've been seeing people talk about, and I think it's really important to have clear boundaries with yourself, with your partner, with your family, and your friends especially, because if you don't have clear boundaries, it might be a little bit difficult to navigate all these relationships. I'm gonna start off by cleansing my face. I'm going to use this Good Molecules Instant Cleansing Balm. I've been trying Good Molecules for a couple of weeks now, and I do like their products. Solid to oil cleanser, and you can use it day and night. It's pretty gentle, and Good Molecules is a very accessible and affordable brand. So what I like to do is just melt it in my arm, my hands first, and just apply and start massaging. It does contain geranium and ylang ylang oil, which I don't find is abrasive, but if you are allergic to any essential oils or anything like that, I just want to let you know some of these products do contain that, and I know a lot of people don't like that, but you can use any oil or balm cleanser of your choice. I just like using it to break down everything and just melt and soften the sebum, soften the skin while I massage everything. It's just a very therapeutic feeling for me. Boundaries, right? I think I just started hearing that word recently, especially with friends, and more so friends than family. These words are things we never really learned in school, because we learn about history, geology, geography, science. Unless you're like in psych or you're trying to do something communication, I feel like you don't really learn about how to communicate with people and how to communicate your feelings properly. But boundaries are those things where you need to honor, you need them. Boundaries are something where you set for yourself. If you guys are wanting to hang out all the time and you don't have the time, you can set a boundary and say, hey, I don't really want to make this. I don't really want to do this. And when boundaries are broken, it's like a small ringing in yourself when somebody says something bad about, say, your family or your dog, and you're like, oh, it's not a big deal, but inside you feel like it's a big deal. So those are like an example of boundaries that are broken. This happens more with family than friends, I feel like, when there's an obligation of a favor, like a relative is in town, they want to do this and that and this and that, but you're tired and you have work to do, so you tell them that, oh, I'm sorry, but I can't do it, but they insist. So those are examples for myself when they're not respected. It is very clear that you have to establish those boundaries, you know. For some people, it's more difficult than others, especially we grew up like, you know, you have to listen to your elders, you have to obey your older uncle, your oldest uncle needs something, you always say yes because it's like your duty. I've been being able to say no a little bit more without worrying about the repercussions or the lashback. One thing with boundaries, when you establish your boundaries, you will first feel like, oh, am I a bad person? Are they gonna think of me a certain way? Am I not a good family member? Am I not a good friend? It's actually really necessary for your own mental health and mental growth, because you need time and space for yourself. I'm also gonna use this gua sha tool. So you just go like that. Just like, you start on the top of the face and go downwards. I don't know if I'm doing it right, but I went to a facial once and the lady taught me to go from the top all the way to the ear, all the way to the ear, to drain any lymphatic fluids, help with blood circulation, any puffiness, and it's a really inexpensive way to massage your face. And I know it looks really rough, but the oil is actually creating a very smooth and slippery layer. pay a little bit more attention to how you're feeling when things happen. One big example is like agreeing to going out a lot. It will drain you, and when you feel drained, you have to listen to the little voice that tells you, hey, this is enough, I feel tired and I don't want to be around people. You just need time to recuperate and think about your feelings. People used to call it like whether you're introvert and extrovert. I think that was a term people used a little bit more. If you go out all the time, you're extrovert. If you go out all the time, you're introvert. And I think everybody is a blend of both, and setting up boundaries can help you navigate whether or not you want to do those things. And your friends or family should respect those boundaries. Even if it's like a huge thing like, oh, it's my birthday, I really want you to come clubbing or like to a place. But if you're really tired, your friends should understand that, hey, can we do this another time? Because, you know, but mean it. If you really want to, you should mean it. At first, it's going to be really hard to say that to people, especially when it's family members that since you were young, growing up, you always agreed to everything they say. Back then, a lot of people also lack the vocabulary because they just hold it in. And I see that with, I think, my family members. When they're not able to perform something, they get really stressed out, but they also still try to do it. Like, for example, when my relatives in Malaysia need to buy something from America, and my mom was like, oh, I should help them, I really want to help them, but it's like your luggage space is full already with your own stuff. So in those situations, like, do you say no, or do you try to do it but stress out? So when you have clear boundaries, it would be like, my space is already full, and I would love to help you if I can next time, but I'm not able to do it. I'm going to wash my face. Just washed off the cleanser, now my skin is clean. I'm gonna go in with a mist that I've been loving, and this is the KLAIRS Fundamental AMPOULE Mist. It contains a bunch of nutrients. It gives a little bit of hydration. It is vegan and cruelty-free as well. 82% Jeju green tea, contains hyaluronic acid and also ceramides to help condition the skin. And it's a very water-like texture, so it's not gonna feel, how some toners are a little bit more viscous. This one it feels like you're spraying water or green tea on your face. It's fairly inexpensive. I think it's quite accessible for how good this product is. So it just provides a light layer of hydration for the summer. I really try not to use anything too gel-like or sticky. After that, I'm going in with the Daily Brightening Serum by Good Molecules, and I think this is around $10. It's a very nice serum. It contains arbutin and hyaluronic acid. And arbutin is an ingredient that breaks down into hydroquinone, but is a little bit more gentle. So hydroquinone is known to lighten the skin, so this brightening serum is good for brightening any acne marks, and I use a very, very thin layer of this day and night. So how do you set boundaries? Well, first you need to acknowledge and realize when your boundaries are broken by yourself, if you're too busy and scheduling too much for yourself, if a friend says something or a family expects too much of you. So the first thing you need to do is be in tune and stop and listen to your own emotions and think, wait, that was not okay, I should not do that anymore, how do I fix this? If you value some alone time, that's the easiest thing. I feel like a lot of people need that. Personally, I need that. How are you gonna go about honoring that value? The next step would be how I can get alone time. It could be as simple as making time for yourself to go out, making time for yourself to stay in, making time for yourself to be in a space where it's just you, and actually include an action. So first is realizing what you need. Next is to decide how you're gonna get that. And third is actually executing that so that your boundaries are met. I do live with my partner, so if I do need alone time, I will think about ways that I can get it, either be in my own room or go out somewhere. but I can't just continue saying it without executing it because it doesn't solve anything. I'm gonna go in with this gel cream for the summer. It's a really nice one. This is from COSRX. It is the Green Tea Aqua Soothing Gel Cream. It contains green tea, vitamin B5. It also contains allantoin and panthenol, which is vitamin B5, to help soothe the skin. I know this might seem like a lot of product, but I'm actually just using a very tiny layer. Just pat it on. It's also a very nice gel moisturizer for people that don't want to use any oils. A couple of days ago, I got malassezia, which people call it fungal acne, and everything was bumpy. So I went online to research what will exacerbate malassezia, or fungal acne as people call it. And apparently you shouldn't use a lot of oils because they are lipophilic and they feed on the oils, the fungus. So I've used this oil-free gel from, I don't know if it's oil-free honestly, but it feels like it's oil-free from the ingredients also. And another interesting ingredient that is in this COSRX gel cream is neem. And neem is a popular ingredient used in Ayurvedic medicine. I used to take neem tablets for internal inflammatory, and it's sort of like an antibacterial, antifungal for the body. I'm gonna go in with these ZITSTICKA patches, and I told you that there are two. I'm gonna use it on this patch, this here, right here. The first step is the cleaner. This cleaner swab is a cleaning swab. It contains salicylic acid, tea tree oil, vitamin A, and alcohol. So what it's gonna do is just clean the skin and disinfect the area. It also helps the microdot patch we are gonna use next stick properly. I'm just gonna go ahead and wipe this gently. After that, go in with the next swab. This is the ZITSTICKA Killer. It's a microdot patch that you apply onto the affected area. It contains hyaluronic acid, oligopeptide, salicylic acid, and niacinamide. What it's going to do is provide anti-inflammatory properties, and salicylic acid is going to exfoliate, and niacinamide is going to brighten up that area. This is good for any early stage zits that you feel forming under the skin, and it's just going to calm it before it becomes a fully blown zit. It's just a patch and it has little tiny needles in there. Not gonna lie, the first time I used it I was shocked because you will feel a little bit of a prick, but it goes away really fast. People use it for 2 hours. I just apply it overnight or throughout the day. I do this before sunscreen because I don't want the sunscreen to be on the area. Next, I'm going to use the sunscreen by PAULA'S CHOICE. This is the Essential Glow Moisturizer. It is a physical sunscreen with a bunch of antioxidants. It contains kiwi and licorice extract. It's SPF 30, so it's a pretty good amount for every day. Just going to apply it all over the face, avoiding the area where I put the patch. And I use the ZITSTICKA patches daytime and nighttime. We're talking about boundaries. At first, it might be very surprising for people, like, whoa, like, why are you being like this? Or people might think you're being mean or being, a bitch. But I think it's very important for your own mental health and well-being. At first, it might be very harsh. You might have a lot of feelings of guilt. But in general, if you want those people in your life and those people want you in their life, they will understand that's necessary for everybody to have their own boundaries, even for them. So maybe that will help them start stating their own boundaries as well. As for myself, I feel like my own boundary at the moment is focusing on my well-being. That's what I want to focus on, and how I'm doing that is by reading more, by expressing more my creativity, and thinking about what I want to do and finding my purpose in life. And what I'm doing with that is writing down how I'm executing that is to write down ideas, to take days off when I need them, and just to play Like when I'm playing, I'm not thinking about work, because with my job with social media, I feel like I watch so many Insta stories, I watch so many brands that sometimes I forget that I'm doing it unconsciously. So one thing I've been doing is putting down my phone with myself. It's hard, not gonna lie, because I can be like sitting on my phone scrolling for 20-30 minutes, looking for inspiration, looking at what my friends are doing, looking at what skincare and makeup are being launched. I've made it a point to actually put down my phone and actually jot down ideas that I want to talk about and I want to experiment with and I want to execute, and like finding ways to make myself happy, you know. And one thing that's made me really happy is videos like this, where I get to talk to you about what is important to me. Lastly, I'm going to put on a lip mask. This is the MADECASSOSIDE Lip Sleeping Mask from APIEU. It's a really nice one. It's fragrance free, essential oil free, and it contains mineral oil to help coat the lips. It also contains MADECASSOSIDE. So anytime I have any allergies or rashes or cheilitis, which is when your lip gets so dry, it gets cut here, this is perfect for that. It's one of my favorite, quite inexpensive as well. So I'm just gonna tap it, and you can use it day and night. Or this is just one of many videos that I would love to do about just talking about my feelings and telling you guys how I feel about something. I would love to hear your thoughts about it. Don't forget to check out ZITSTICKA. A lot of you guys DM'd me because you get that too, malassezia and like just dots all over. So I'm glad I could help you. I actually use clotrimazole, I think. It kills fungus basically, and it's marketed as ringworm cream or jock itch cream. So I used that and it actually calmed down in like 2-3 days. If you want me to talk about anything else in the future, please comment down below. Give this video a thumbs up. It would really help my channel. I hope you enjoy, and bye guys.